Hello, hello, hello. This is Tony A with YORUBADE, and I wanted to do a quick book review on a book I just finished. It was great. It's the economic history of West Africa, and you can see the name A.G. Hopkins. Definitely a good read. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about this book and why I like it. So I read a lot of books. I try to learn as much as I can about West Africa, the region, especially before colonization, because that's really what all of us know. Nigeria was formed 1900. I think it was colonized, and then became independent in 1960 or whatever. So definitely, I always try to just learn history, just learn about the people. It's all relevant to me because also it's inspiring and just it lets me know that hey, we're not, even though I didn't think this, but we're not savages. We're really intelligent thinking people. We crossed the Iron Age before Europe. Like there's a lot of stuff that they try to make Africa seem, but as you just keep reading and learning, you know that they're full of shit, and you just whatever. That's what y'all do. So basically, so this book just talks about mostly the wealth, the trade, and just the commerce in West Africa before before colonization. Now, in the book, they reference West Africa to Sudan, West Sudan. I remember, yeah. They call it West. That's what they called it before. So I had to get used to that term because I keep thinking that they're thinking of a country, but it does reference West Africa to it's calling it as West Sudan. So just what I liked, the most fascinating thing about learning West African culture is just the trade that we used to do centuries ago. This is before the what do you call it? The Portuguese came and Europeans came. We was already doing trade with the Arab nations. We created our several trade routes into different entrepôts. Like we were getting it. The barter system, you know, that's what it was doing. In some cases, it was like kind of using what you'll call money. We was doing our thing, and then that's when the others came and they started negotiating with us, doing just trade back and forth, and that's how that started. So I used to think, okay, they created a whole economy system or monetary system. That's not the case at all. So if that's what y'all believe, then you know y'all was being misinformed, misled, or you know just like I was. It's just the biases that you know mainstream media will put out there. They control it, so they can paint their own narrative, and they paint their own narrative as just the greatest people on this earth. And it's no, they learn pretty much everything from us. And remember, we've been on this earth for like around, I think it's like 20,000 years. They've been on this earth for like 6,000 years. It's a really big difference. So they haven't been on this earth as long as we have. So, you know, just something to, you know, food for thought if you don't know, or just keep in your mind. So, I mean, just the way that they did trade, there was wealthy people there, wealthy West Africans. It does hit a little bit about just a little bit how some tribes were conquering each other. They would go in, what there was trading. The biggest items for trade was salt. I didn't think about it before, but now I think it's to preserve food, which is really important. So salt and of course gold. So sometimes it will be on par, salt and gold, because you know you need food, so that's really important. And cola nuts. Cola nuts, I didn't know it was that important like that, but cola nuts was a big thing. It was big business back then. So it does talk about a little bit why cola nut was so important. Specifically, the Islam or the Muslim people were trading it. The benefit of it is if you chew it, then it gives you a lot of energy. Like, it just gives you a lot of energy. So it was really, really big. I didn't know that. And just what they were using to trade items and things like that. It does hit on the slave trade, slavery, and it gave me a different perspective on what slavery is. So yeah, I heard this before, but Africans don't, the word slavery, yeah, technically if forced labor, of course you can say it as slavery, but the brutality of it isn't what was happening in the Caribbean or North America. It was completely different. Really, slavery for them seemed, just from reading it, servitude, indentured servitude. Like, you know, when Mansa Musa did the pilgrimage to Mecca, it was slaves that was carrying all that gold that far distance. Now, I'm thinking, okay, they were slaves? Because I'm like, damn, how do you keep all those people in control? Like, were they all shackled up? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, but still, it's just like, it's like if you're a farmer, you was farming for them, and it's a different connotation than what we have over here. So, but that was something that was really interesting. This is a good section that talked about how slavery happened, how it was happening way before the Atlantic slave trade, and it was it was still happening after they officially stopped the Atlantic slave trade, which was shocking. I didn't know that part. It was still going on. So slavery has always been around in this region. So yeah, this just a lot of information that I learned from this book on economic history of West Africa. There was nothing really I didn't like about this book. It was very thorough. A point that I found interesting was, so the author, he's obviously European, Hopkins, so he's European, and he made it a point to dispel just the European falsehoods about West Africans being uncivilized and not capable of having a legit economy. No, he's like, no, this is the data, this is what they was doing, this is what a lot of Europeans or people from London or whatever, UK, would try to say about Africans, but it's just not true. It's false. And I like how he just, everything is backed up with data. It is thoroughly done. I have to say that. So if you're into history of, or if you love learning about history of just African people, I would advise just get this book or get a book like this, so you can just learn more on your own. You don't have a public system feeding you propaganda. Like, learn this stuff for yourself. Like, I mean, you should be responsible. We should be responsible for learning about our own history. We shouldn't be looking at outsiders and you know, the dominant society to give us this information ourselves. Like, it doesn't even, it really doesn't sound right to me, and it's not right. So I will give this book 5 out of 5, 5 gold stars out of 5. Definitely a great book if you like to, you know, just read history and, you know, just learn more about the region. If you find this video informative and interesting, like my video, please. I would really appreciate it. If you have a comment, leave it in the comment section below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram just to see just the different events that I go to, usually I put it on my story. Then, you know, follow me on Instagram. My information is going to be in the pinned comment down below. So hope you all have a good day. Stay great and stay blessed.